Hey everybody, what's up? Laura, oh Christ, I need to turn this down. Alright, sorry guys, that was in the red. Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to People of the Empire. And this is your host Laura Wolfen, and my brother, Witsama.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, originally we were gonna do something that would have been taking me a long time to edit, but since the Nintendo Direct happened, I decided to give mercy to myself and decided to talk about that instead. Plus, there's some news I also want to talk about a lot. And yeah, let's get down right to it because we have a lot to talk about because it's direct. Also, we're not gonna talk about some of the stuff that some of the games that already appeared on the direct. What I meant to say was that stuff that have already has already been uh, been announced because not announced. I mean, games have already been released for the Switch. Like we're not gonna talk about the Splatfest. We're not gonna talk about the DLC to Scarlet and Violet. We're not gonna talk about the DLC to those Sparks of Hope. So, yeah, let's get down to the games that are coming out. Let's start off with Sonic Superstars, which for me, this looks kind of interesting because I have not played Sonic Frontiers, but Sonic Superstars looks kind of cool. Like you can play it. Other than the fact you can play as Amy, which again I'm pretty sure you can. I think you can play as her in Sonic CD, but I'm not sure. But yeah, it looks kind of fun, and it's actually pretty decent. Rob, what do you think?
Hold on.
Okay,
Which game are we talking about?
Sonic Superstars.
Sonic Superstars.
Yeah, were you watching Direct before?
Yeah, I watched the direct, but like, if I'm being frank, some things I didn't really take into consideration. So
Okay,
Sonic Superstars, hey, I think that sounds pretty good. I think a lot of people like an extra Sonic title. I have other titles that I paid a lot more attention to during the direct.
all right.
Um, yeah,
Can you list them?
can I list them? I think Mario RPG Remake was one of them.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that later on as part of the third segment, by the way.
No, yeah, I get that. Yeah, you asked me which ones were stood out to me. That was one of them.
Okay. Then there was also games like Detective Pikachu Returns, which is interesting because I've never actually played the original 3DS game, but this is like something I can play. By the way, I'm not gonna put any footage for that game because last time I did, I got like a copyright thanks to Nintendo for that game. Like a couple days ago when I was doing my reaction.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
Nintendo at it again.
yeah, I know. Anyways, there are some other games that are more interesting. Like right now, they actually released they released the trailer to Metal Gear Solid One Master Collection, and which contains the Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3, along with MSX games and the NES games. Which, by the way, is a nice deal, but had some controversy. That if you were to look on Konami's website, but the thing is, I actually would love to buy these games. I've barely played some of them, but they are really cool. You know, Rob.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the games look pretty cool. I'm glad with Metal Gear Solid 1, or not Metal Gear Solid 1, but just the first three games that we're getting like a Switch port. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if Konami or if there's. Oh, you know what it might be, because I think Twin Snakes was developed by um a different group altogether. I think Silicon Knights, and I'm not sure if there might be some sort of like legal issue or whatever it might be. But Twin Snakes hasn't moved from the Nintendo GameCube at all. It's been stuck there. And now we get this port on the Switch. You think maybe that might be a good opportunity to add Twin Snakes, a Nintendo exclusive, way back in the day. We're talking like, what, 17 years ago, maybe? I forget when the game came out. Definitely a long time ago.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so you're talking about Nintendo exclusive Twin Snakes, and now we get this port. And granted, fans, I think a lot of fans prefer the original over Twin Snakes, but Twin Snakes, if we're being frank, it's like you took Metal Gear Solid 1 and you gave it the Metal Gear Solid 2 treatment, you know, brought up the graphics, added first person shooting, because I don't think that was a thing in the first Metal Gear Solid, the original. So the fact that they decided to skip over it, it's interesting. Maybe one day that game will get some love, but
Yeah.
hey, I like it. I like that we've got Metal Gear on the Switch now.
Yeah, and there are also a couple other games, like surprisingly, Batman Arkham Trilogy is coming out on the Switch, and one thing that bugs me, and this is because I'm playing the game on Twitch right now, is that this trilogy excludes Arkham Origins, because I don't know why people aren't really liking that game. I actually personally enjoy it. I'm in the minority that enjoys it, to be honest, and it's actually a pretty fun game. I because this trilogy collection only has Asylum, City, and Night. You know, yeah, and it's actually still enjoyable, to be honest. And yeah, Robert's not going to talk about that one because he's never played it. But anyways,
Oh, oh, I know, I get its importance that it's being ported over to the Switch, because those are like the Arkham series is like, very well received series. Some people saying like, I think Asylum and City, some of the some of the best games period, like let alone like best Batman game in the series. Like some people think those two games are some of the best games to have come out within the past like 20 years. So I get its importance. I never played it, but I get its importance that it's coming over to the Switch.
all right. Yeah, I want to talk about some games that I'm pretty sure are actually might actually have a chance of being something good. Like, for instance, there's a game called Myth Force, which is actually an homage to 80s like cartoons like He-Man and Thundercats, which is actually kind of interesting. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this game can do since it's the first person. What's the first person shooter? Damn, I'm getting confused now. But anyways, it looks kind of interesting. Uh, along with another game. What do you think's on that one actually?
Which game?
Myth Force.
You said there was another game coming out?
Yeah, I was gonna talk about Palia, but
Yeah, so those games, yeah, they're under my radar. I wasn't paying attention to those games.
oh, okay.
How many games did they show off in this direct?
Yeah, a lot like Star Ocean, the second story, Awe, which
So
is
that stood out to me, the Star Ocean game. I know a lot of people like that particular Star Ocean game. So that stood out to me that they came out with like a remake or whatever.
yeah, it's interesting they're porting this because this is the second game in the series, and I don't know why I didn't port the first game. Actually, it was weird. And then there are also other stuff too, like they're porting Pikmin 1 and 2 as well to the Switch. And which by the way came out a few days ago on the Nintendo Switch eShop.
Came out shortly after the direct, I believe.
Yeah. And it'd be I actually want I you know what I'm gonna play that game because I've never played a Pikmin game. Neither has Rob. Because it actually seems because they look like kind of fun games, and it might actually be something up my alley. What do you think?
Um, the Pikmin games. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's a great opportunity to pick up and play, especially the new Pikmin game coming out soon. Maybe it might be a good idea to explore if you like the games.
Yeah, and there are actually two other games that caught my attention because they actually are kind of interesting. One of them was Penny's Big Breakaway, which it looks like a game that would have come out on the N64, and it looks kind of cool to be honest. Being made by the people behind Sonic Mania, you know. And the other game was WarioWare Move It, which is well another WarioWare game. I'm a fan of those, and this one looks really interesting. I want to know how they're doing how they're gonna do this with the Joy-Con controllers. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't really have any additional thoughts to add to that.
Oh really?
Yeah. What game were we
Okay.
talking about?
Well,
What game were we talking about?
the first game I mentioned was Penny's Big Breakaway, which
Oh
was
yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, no, I have no thoughts on it. That went under my radar.
and the other game was WarioWare Move It.
Hmm. WarioWare, that's interesting. I know a lot of people enjoy like a little party game. I don't. I think they already had a WarioWare on the Switch.
I remember that too, and I heard it didn't do well, but I'm hoping this game might actually do a lot better.
Hey, hopefully.
Yeah, and we covered. Okay, I think we covered some of the more interesting titles. Well, there were other games like we could have talked about, like Silent Hope or Palia, which to me looks like uh, Harvest Moon, but with action RPG elements, and or Silent Hope. And we're definitely not gonna talk about Just Dance 2024 edition because, frankly, we're not fans of Just Dance. But yeah, we're just talking about some of the stuff that are kind of interesting. But anyways, we are 12, nearly 12 and a half minutes in. And let's start our next segment, the news desk segment. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Okay, and the in this all right, guys. For news to this for this news right now, yeah, I'm gonna start out with the stupidest news I found when couple of days ago, I think last week, I think the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, actually got banned by the UAE because there's a image of the trans flag in the film. It's that, and it's just insane how people are up their asses about this kind of stuff. Any thoughts?
Nah, I don't got any um additional thoughts to add on to that story.
All right. Well, anyways, there are other stuff I was gonna talk about. I just want to get that out of the way because I just thought that was stupid, and I think people would talk about it anyways. After all that, there's also another piece of news. Well, two pieces of news I was gonna talk about. Now, one of them being you heard about the time that Anthony left Smosh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a couple days ago, and this is interesting. Anthony actually came back to Smosh, and Red and Link, who held on to the trademark, gave it back to Ian and Anthony when he came back, and I thought that was actually really cool, man. What do you think?
Yeah. They said they got back Smosh. I wonder how much. Did they say how much they paid for it?
I'm not sure, but they gave it back to them, so yeah, I'm hoping. Christ, I'm trying to lure these. Uh, I, I'm actually happy that they can. Anthony's back on the channel now. So yeah, hopefully things go work for the site. Also, there are two pieces of news. There's another piece of news. Okay, I was thinking of adding it to the third segment, but we still don't know that much about it. Uh, as of recently, a teaser trailer for for the new Netflix series, the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender series, finally got a new finally got a teaser trailer, and I would talk about it, but the problem is there was not much to the teaser, just the four symbols of each nation, and like the Fire Nation, the Earth Kingdom, the Air Nomads, and the Water Tribe. But thing is, it's just there's not much to talk about to it. Though I did look up the pics, and they are pretty good. League's better from the M Night Shyamalan film, but they are pretty good. I know Robert might not have much opinion on this, but my
Nope.
opinion is okay. Uh,
God.
I know my opinion is this might not actually. It might go either way. If the just by the pics I've seen, it would it might not actually be a good thing or a bad thing, but either way, the I'm not. I'll get some more in depth as to why I'm still holding on to. I'm still mixed about. I'm still in the center about this when we talk about, I guess, the third segment. But either way, it's still. I'm still mixed. So yeah. But anyways, before we get into the third segment, just one last piece of news I want to talk about, and this is about us. Not us. I mean, this is about Rob because a couple of days ago, during like the Nintendo Direct, Robert was actually at his graduation ceremony, and she chose Robert for becoming a college graduate. So
Oh, thank you, Richie, for shouting me out here.
yeah. So, any thoughts of how you become a new graduate?
I'm just glad that I'm done with school for now. Just glad to get it over with. Uh,
Mm,
yeah, I don't really have any additional thoughts. I'm just happy to be done. I think a lot of college graduates feel that way. They're just glad they don't got to deal with it anymore.
yeah. For me, as a college graduate, I'm not sure if I should go to damn it, if I should go to a 4 year college as of late, but I'm still getting my options open. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, those are pieces of news I want to talk about, and that's something that's really interesting. So, yeah. Anyways, we are about 18 minutes in. Let's talk. Let's just talk about the our third segment, and coming soon, which segment where we just talk about trailers for like film, games, whatnot, and the two get because of Nintendo Direct. I want to go in depth on two specific games that I think are pretty interesting. One of the games being Super Mario RPG Legend of Seven Stars, because this was actually something I really wanted to play, but I didn't bother downloading it on the Wii, or basically I have not played it at all. But yeah, I actually want to play this game, to be honest, when it comes out, because this has a cult following that a lot. This is a lot. Is that's still going on to this day, and it's a really interesting thing to see. Like, what do you think?
The remake.
Yeah.
The Yeah, I think it took a lot of people by surprise that this was even like a thing in the works. I think a lot of people thought perhaps like that might be a title stuck in time because it was like Square Enix, then Squaresoft. They kind of put it together and whatnot, and you're thinking, oh, it's not even on like, is it on the Super Nintendo uh online? Let me
Uh,
see.
which console?
on the Switch for the
No,
Super Nintendo. It's not. Let me
no.
double check. Okay, I'm pulling it up right now. But yeah, I think that was the case, right? Yeah, like it wasn't on the Super Nintendo like Virtual Console or Nintendo Switch Online, whatever you want to call it. Um, and so people thought, oh, maybe that's just like a title that's like lost in time and you have to like emulate it or whatever. Yeah, I don't see it here. I'm checking it right now. So yeah, people I think wrote it off. So when they came out and they're like, oh, so it's funny because they first introed it with like a pixel cutscene, and so I bet people were thinking, yo, no way, it's coming to Switch Online. I bet people were thinking that first. But then when they saw the scene transition to 3D, people were like, whoa, no
Yeah,
way, it's a remake.
yeah. I saw it before when I was looking at other some of the other YouTubers I watched, like HMK and Beat 'em Ups, and seeing both these guys give a huge amount of give an absolute insane reaction to the to the game. That trailer was insane, especially HMK, who I still consider the king of freakouts.
Yeah,
And
I might have to look up some I might have to look up some whatchamacallit, some reactions just to see how people kind of like like reacted to that whole transition because I'm pretty sure that took everybody by surprise because
yeah,
it was one surprise that they even flashed Mario RPG in its original like 16-bit graphics like on the screen. So people had one thing in mind and then it completely like hit that surprise with an even bigger surprise. Hey, this is not just a port. We have a remake coming on. Like I think that was like pretty cool. And like I'm looking at the trailer again right now, and the game looks really nice. Is SquareSoft or excuse me, Square Enix, are they developing it or is this a all Nintendo thing?
I'm not
Trying to
really
see.
sure. I have to look it up, but thing is, it's kind of cool that they're actually doing it because
Yes, yeah, Square Enix, yeah.
okay,
Or I don't know. At the very least, I see Nintendo slash Square Enix on the bottom left corner of this like end card here with the release date on it, and then characters Nintendo, Square Enix. Okay, cool.
yeah, and interesting enough, I actually like the way he did the cutscene. So they're actually doing a lot. Sorry, they're actually doing a lot better. It's actually interesting that they're doing it right now. You know, seeing this game, a lot of people thought it was gonna be for the Switch Online, but they're actually doing a new game, and I'm happy for it. Also, I'm gonna be playing it day one, so
Hey.
yeah, take that as you will. Also, the next trailer we're gonna talk about, and this one is kind of interesting because they're actually taking something that was already done before and makes something new. It's the Super Mario Brothers Wonder game. That's such a silly title to me still. Yeah. All I can say about it is this is actually kind of interesting because not only do you have the addition of Daisy as a playable character, but you have some interesting they have different graphics, different like any power ups, and also a different mechanic using the that Wonder Flower thing that's in the game, and it's actually really fun to look at. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, Mario's tripping balls," and it was actually really cool. You know, any thoughts?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's a continuation of their like I guess
New,
they call it New Super Mario Brothers. I think that's what they call that style of Mario game that they had. So it's like a continuation of that. And I don't remember the last time they released a New Super Mario Brothers type Mario game. I think I think they ported over New Super Mario Brothers U to the Switch, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't remember when that might have been. I'm actually gonna look that up right now. New Super Mario Brothers U Switch.
okay.
Okay, yeah. See, Super Mario, they ported over the Wii U thing. Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, they ported that over to the Switch. I don't know when they did that, but that was the last time we had like that 2D like Mario game. So, oh, and that came out in 2019, so that was 4 years ago. And I think a lot of people were like trying to figure out, oh, when's the next big Mario game? Because like I think it was just Odyssey. I don't think they came out with I guess they had even well, this is like a sort of a port, the Super Mario 3D World,
Yeah,
if you remember that.
yeah, I
Like, and
do.
then it had like Bowser's Fury as like additional content. But like like a true like new Mario title, I think there hasn't been one since Mario Odyssey. So like this direct kind of hits you with two. They're like, oh, you know what? Boom, remake. Like, oh, you thought we were done? Boom, brand new Mario 2D game. Like, it was definitely like the direct for Mario, and you knew Mario was due for some love, and I think people were really excited to see that because it had been a while.
Oh, I just realized something.
What's up?
There was this was I could have mentioned this earlier, but there were two teaser trailers for two other games that are on the Switch. One of them was for a Princess Peach game, and the other one was for Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Uh, which we could have just talked about earlier. Sorry, it became a footnote, but it was actually something that looked interesting. Any thoughts on it?
Oh, the is that a remake? The Dark Moon?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I think it's pretty cool. My only and you'll have maybe you might have to inform me because I never played Dark Moon. I only played the original Luigi's Mansion, but I think Dark Moon is the sequel to Mansion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting that they decided to remake that one first and not like the original Luigi's Mansion. I feel like it would have gotten more and I don't know what the thought process is, but I feel like if they announced, "Hey, we have HD remake or maybe not HD remake, but we have like, brand new ground up remake of Luigi's Mansion," I think that would have popped off a lot more than them saying, "Hey, we're doing a remake of the 3DS one that probably wasn't as popular." Because Luigi's Mansion is, that was like a beloved game
GameCube.
on the GameCube. So I think people would have loved a lot to see that game made. So it's a definitely an interesting choice that they decided to remake the second game as opposed to the first one. But hey, I mean, people are probably excited out there for that.
Yeah, and there's also the Princess Peach game that they teased as well, was coming out next year as well. So, hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's funny because I'm looking to see how many views the trailer got. Dark Moon Switch. You can't even find the trailer.
Yeah, because it was actually just clear mentioned by Nintendo.
Oh, it's just a mention. Yeah, they could have done a little bit better with the fanfare around that. But
Yeah,
yeah, you mentioned there's like a new Peach game,
yeah,
and they haven't done one with her as the main character in a long time. I think they only did it once before. I think they did
yeah. It was Super Princess Peach.
on the DS, right? I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and an original DS.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I think I'm glad that they're building more on her. Glad she's getting another title for herself. I yeah, it's pretty cool. They really hammered down on the kind of Mario franchise or universe. Definitely gave them a couple more games.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that'll be the. We only have one more trailer to talk about right now, and this one caught my attention. Like, I was like, when I first heard about it, I was like, they're not gonna do this. And believe it or not, I saw the teaser trailer. I'm like, they're doing it. It's a new show by Netflix. It's a live action One Piece series. This time I'm actually like, why Actually, I do know why. Because Netflix thinks they could at least profit off other live action animes, because versions of animes, because they did it before with Cowboy Bebop and Death Note. And keep in mind, I never saw the Bebop live action Bebop movie by Netflix, but I have seen the live action Death Note movie by Netflix, and it was bad. Even though I kind of mostly saw it for Willem Dafoe as Ryuk, it was still bad. It, yeah. And I heard about the reviews for the live action Bebop, and that was bad too. I don't understand why Netflix is doing this stuff. And even though people kept saying, well, new One Piece series by Netflix is gonna be great. It's because Oda actually made sure it's gonna be made perfect. Give it when that series release, give it time, because Netflix does not have a good track record with this. I'm sorry, because I'm gonna watch it, see if it's any good, but Netflix doesn't have a good track record when it comes to this sort of thing. Any thoughts, Rob?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like proof's in the pudding when it comes to like the trailer. I don't. There's just certain times where I'm looking at that trailer and it just didn't really look that great. Like the fighting just didn't really translate well. I don't think. Yeah, and then they showed like at the end, he stretched out his like rubber band arm because he had the Gungam power or whatever it's called. But like that looked a little weird. I don't know. I'm looking at this and now is it supposed to be like a live action movie or is it a series?
Series.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, when I look at this, all I think about is the Avatar movie. Is that like bombed really bad in like 2009, 2010, whenever Glass Airbender. I think that's what it might have been called, the live action Avatar movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at that and I just get the same vibes. So
But who knows? Maybe it's gonna be a good series, but again, Netflix's track record. What you gonna do? And yeah, sorry to put this bummer of a reaction as like the end of this. So we're about a little over half an hour done. So we're just gonna end it right here. Is that good?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, to anyone watching, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to get more content. Hit the bell to get notified. And as always, stay gold and peace out.
Take care, everybody.